in Wilmington. You remember the time he whipped Corn Pop's sorry ass with a chain. Watch.
Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, you walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, you may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.
You thought he was useless. That man has skills. He's got skills. He's done a lot of interesting stuff. He hasn't just stood up and talked, got more hair plugs. He's actually done stuff. And we learned about more of that stuff today during a visit to a Mack truck facility in Pennsylvania. Joe Biden told us, and this had not been recorded by any of his many biographers, that he can, in fact, double clutch a quad box. He used to drive an 18-wheeler.
I used to drive an 18-wheeler, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
That's
I got to.
Has Mark Steyn driven an 18-wheeler? We have no idea. Can he double clutch a quad box? He's written a lot of great books, bestsellers. He joins us now to assess the remarkable career of the President of the United States. Mark Steyn, great to see you tonight. Can you double clutch a quad box? Can you drive an 18-wheeler?
Well, I don't think, none of us has the skill set that Joe Biden has, and I utterly deplore your skepticism about this. He, in fact, when he went to rescue Nelson Riddle, springing from prison, he was driving an 18-wheeler to Robben Island. He didn't realize you couldn't go by road to Robben Island. He thought it was by, like, Rhode Island, where you can go by road. So he was driving an 18-wheeler. It used to be a 23-wheeler, but Corn Pop stole 5 of the wheels. It's true that he wasn't actually a miner, but he has sniffed the hair of a miner. I mean, we're getting a little hung up on details here. When he said he was a fighter pilot, he said he was a fighter pilot in the Spanish-American War, and you guys go bananas. But in fact, he did once take a business class flight to Barcelona in 1978. So we're getting a little too, I think, a little too hung up on details here. He has a rich life. You know, so he's driven a 23-wheeler. If he's allowed to stay up late, he likes to watch Wheel of Fortune. That's a wheeler. He's not always allowed to. Sometimes he has to turn in after Murder, She Wrote. Sometimes he likes to watch the Wainscoting channel and count the beadboard from left to right. He has a very rich life, and none of his fantasies are as insane as the reality of putting the defense secretary in a plexiglass helmet as if you're going to project him into space.
So I think what you're saying, if I could just sort of boil down your analysis, I think you're saying that we need to appreciate what we're calling now in 2021 Joe Biden's lived experience.
Well, I'd actually rather Joe Biden is bored by policy. He can't finish sentences, even when he's got people in his earpiece telling him the words to say. He tails off in the sentences, you know, if he starts talking about the economy, he tails off. But when you suddenly say to him, remember when you and Corn Pop, you were in that 18-wheeler and you had to dynamite the mountain pass in Fulton County, Georgia, because the Republicans were trying to get through so they could audit the ballots there, and you had to dynamite the whole thing with your 18-wheeler full of credit cards from the First National Bank of Wuhan, and suddenly Joe Biden springs to life. That's the real Joe Biden, and this husk that they prop up in front of the prompter is the one we should get rid of.
Let's talk about
real
himself.
Joe Biden.
Our cameraman is laughing, by the way, which is the greatest of all compliments. Mark Steyn, thank you as always for making sense of a world gone mad. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Tucker.